Good morning, students. This is a fifth lecture for drug discovery and drug design. Now, up to fourth lecture, we completed about the drug targets. One more drug target is left over, that is carrier molecule. The fourth target for drug action is carrier molecule. A carrier molecule. Now, a special protein, a special kind of protein present inside the cell. Present inside the cell. Say this is the cell. Say this is the cell. Inside the cell, there is a biochemical process catalyzed through the enzyme to give a product. So this is bioprocess. Now, a cell consisting of a special type of protein. So this is a special protein. Special protein. A special protein present inside the cell to carry a smaller hydrophilic organic molecule. Smaller hydrophilic organic molecule. Hydrophilic organic molecule. Now, hydrophilic organic molecules are unable to penetrate directly through the cell wall. Hydrophilic nature of organic. So whatever the hydrophilic nature of organic molecule are hydrophilic organic molecules are unable to penetrate through the cell membrane directly, as the cell membrane is lipid nature, lipid layer. The nature of the cell membrane is lipidic, that is, it is a lipid bilayer. The nature of the organic molecule, if it is hydrophilic, therefore the cell wall does not permit the hydrophilic organic molecule to enter directly through it. Now, a cell consisting of special protein for the purpose to carry these organic molecules across the cell membrane, which are essential for bioprocess. So say for example, hydrophilic organic molecule will be A. Say the hydrophilic organic molecule will be A. A is essential for bioprocess, either A or B. If A is essential for bioprocess, because of its hydrophilicity, it is unable to penetrate or enter directly through the cell membrane, as the cell membrane has a lipid nature. So in that case, these special proteins existed inside the cell can carry these hydrophilic organic molecule across the cell membrane into the cell and provide a material for biochemical process. These special proteins are called as carrier molecules. Carrier molecules. Is it clear? So a cell consisting of a special protein to carry a hydrophilic organic molecules which required for bioprocess across the cell membrane, because they carry a smaller hydrophilic organic molecule through the cell membrane into the cell. Therefore, these proteins are called as carrier molecules. Now, the carrier molecule is only able to move across the cell membrane. That is, it can be moved inside the cell or outside the cell. Now, once A is required for biochemical process, this carrier molecule come outside the cell and bring the A molecule it combine with A. So this is the structure of A. It combine. So carrier molecule come outside the cell and bind with A. A is required. It bind with A and it entered into the cell. So only a special protein is allowed the cell membrane to cross through it, either inside the cell or outside the cell. Once A is required, a carrier protein or carrier molecule come outside and bind with the A to form a complex. So this can be moved, entered inside the cell. This is carrier molecule bound with A and it leave the A molecule. It leave the A molecule is leaved from the surface of carrier molecule. Then A is utilized for biochemical process. So this is a simple mechanism. A smaller molecules which are unable to penetrate through the cell membrane will be carried by a special protein for biochemical, for whatever the purpose, particularly for bioprocess or biochemical processes of the cell. Now this is the normal functioning. Sometimes a carrier molecule, instead of a needy or essential substance, smaller organic molecule, it may carry some undesired molecules. Say if it comes out to the cell and instead of binding A, if bind with some other, say if bind with some other, A is required, if bind with say D, whatever it may be, and it will carry inside the cell, instead of A, the D will be carried. So D is not essential, only A is essential. So under some certain circumstances, this carrier molecule go outside the cell, instead of binding with a desired molecule which is to be carried, sometimes they may bound and carry some undesired molecule outside the cell and can carry inside the cell. So when undesired molecules are entered into the cell by the carrier molecule, through the carrier molecule, they disturb all cellular functions called as disease. Called as diseases. So undesired molecule, if carried by the carrier molecule under certain circumstances, will disturb all the cell function called as cellular effect or disease. Therefore, the diseases arised here because of dysfunctioning of not proper functioning of a carrier molecule. Therefore, the carrier molecules are becoming a target for the drug action. So whatever the drug applied will bind with the carrier molecule and correct its functioning to be carry only a desired organic molecule from outside into inside the cell, so that after some time it will correct the functions of carrier molecule as well as the functions of cell, thereby relieved from the particular disease. So this is about drug targets. Now after completion of drug target, let us when the drug reached to its target, what will happen and how the drug will bind with the target. Are you following? Once the drug reached to its target, whatever the target may be receptor, target may be ion channel, target may be enzyme, target may be carrier molecule. Once it approached to its target, how and what process it will be interacted with the target and bind with the target. That is nature of drug receptor. Interactions. The next topic will be nature of drug receptor interactions. Now we are going to study while when approached a drug molecule to its target, say here receptor. Receptor is also one of the target for drug action. 90% of the drugs will act by binding with only receptors. So when it reaches to its target, by what process, how and by what process it will interacted to bind with the target. That is nature of drug receptor interactions. Now, when the drug approached or reached to its target, it may be bound to the target by 5 types of interactions available. So a drug bind with the receptor through a 5 types of interactions called as drug receptor interactions. Number 1, first interaction in between drug and receptor during its binding is the ionic interaction. Ionic interaction or electrostatic interaction. Electrostatic interaction. What we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss when drug approached to its target, how it will bind to its target. That is drug receptor interactions. So when drug reached to its target, it bound to the target by the process of 5 types of interaction. The first type will be ionic interaction or electrostatic interactions. Ionic interactions or electrostatic interactions. We studied earlier that a receptor is a sensitive or conservative area on cell surface with a specific functional groups. So receptor will consisting of some specific functional groups. Now coming to the drugs. The drugs were designed in such a way to by introducing again a functional groups. So both will have a functional groups. Drug will have a functional group in its structure, and receptor also have some functional group in its structure. Now when the drug approached to the target, there may be a first kind of interactions existed, ionic. It may bind with sometimes through an ionic interaction or electrostatic interaction. That is the interaction between ions of oppositely charged between a drug and receptor. Interaction between the ions of oppositely charged through their functional groups of either receptor or drug are called as ionic interactions. So a drug may be bound to the target, that is to the receptor, by interacting through its ionic interactions. So binding through ionic interactions or electrostatic interaction. What is ionic interaction? An interaction, a electrostatic attraction or interaction between the oppositely charged, the functional group of the oppositely charged ions on either receptor and as well as a drug molecule. For example, a drug, say this is the drug, if contain COOH group, say minus charge, a COOH group, this is ionic drug, interacted say NH3 plus a receptor. Now you see a drug contain a negatively charged functional group, that is ion, a receptor that contain a positively charged ion, or vice versa. The drug may contain positively charged functional group ion, or the receptor may also contain a negatively charged. So this is the drug molecule, this is the nature of receptor. Now interacted through a negatively charged ion, interacted with positively charged ion of receptor. So through this kind of interactions, a drug may bind with the receptor to form drug receptor complex. To form drug receptor complex from which we can observe response or activity or action. Is it clear? So when approached a drug molecule to its target, say here it is receptor, bound with the receptor to form BR complex from which we can observe the biological response are called as action or activity. How the drug is bound with the receptor? The drug may bound with the receptor through the ionic interactions. That is, a interaction between oppositely charged ions of drug and receptor. So this is the first kind of interactions may be happen between drug and receptor. These interactions are very strong. The ionic interactions are very strong. Very strong. Now, these interactions are possible only if either drug as well as the receptor consisting of oppositely charged ion. Is it clear? So this is the first type of interaction. Now second type of interaction. Now second type of interaction is hydrogen bonding interaction. Hydrogen bonding interaction. A drug when approached to its receptor or target, it bind through the formation of hydrogen bonding interaction. What is hydrogen bonding interaction? The interaction between more electronegative atom, either of receptor or either of drug, with a electropositive atom, that is hydrogen, may be of receptor or may be of a drug. So a drug may sometimes bind with its target, that is receptor, through the hydrogen bonding interactions. Example. Example, say this is the drug. If it consisting, say X group, whatever the X group, more electronegative, say X group with more electronegative of non-bonding electrons interacted to the receptor. Say a receptor if consisting of electropositive atom, electropositive. Now a drug may bind with this receptor through the hydrogen bonding interaction. These are hydrogen bonding interaction. Now through the hydrogen bonding interaction, a drug may bind with the receptor to form drug receptor complex. Drug receptor complex from which the action or activity will be elicited. So activity or biological response is observed only from drug receptor. DR stands for drug receptor complex. So binding may be through hydrogen bonding, called as hydrogen bonding interactions. Now, a third type of interactions, van der Waal interactions. So a drug bind with the receptor sometimes through a van der Waal interactions. Van der Waals interaction. Van der Waal interactions. Now, the interaction between the hydrophobic group of a drug and the hydrophobic region of the receptor is called as van der Waal interactions. Van der Waal interaction will be the interaction between hydrophobic group of the drug and hydrophobic region of the receptor or target is called as van der Waal interaction. These interactions are, say for example, if a drug contain, this is the drug, contain say a group which is hydrophobic group. Hydrophobic, a drug which consisting of hydrophobic group. Now it may be interacted with say CH3, CH2, CH2, say receptor. This is hydrophobic region. Hydrophobic region. Now in this case, a drug consisting of this is hydrophobic group. Now this is the target or receptor which contains certain hydrophobic region. The interaction between the hydrophobic group to that of hydrophobic region is called as van der Waal interaction. Van der Waal interaction. You see, a drug may be bound with the receptor through a van der Waal interaction. What is van der Waal interaction? A interaction between the hydrophobic group of the drug and hydrophobic region of the receptor or target is a van der Waal interaction. Through this interaction, it will form DR complex. It may form a drug receptor complex. Now, the van der Waal interactions are, however, very weak. These interactions are so weak, but most of the drug molecule consisting of hydrophobic groups, because the drugs are most of the drugs are aromatic in nature. Most of the drug molecules are aromatic, or most of the drug molecule belongs to organic compounds. Therefore, they must consisting of at least one hydrophobic group. Are you following? Most of the drugs were belonging to organic nature. When it is in organic nature, it must contain at least one hydrophobic group. Similarly, most of the receptor consisting of hydrophobic regions. So there is a hydrophobic group is existed in the drug, and as well as hydrophobic region is present in the receptor. However, van der Waal interactions are weak, but they are significant. Why van der Waal interactions are significant? Because the other interactions may or may not be possible, but van der Waal interactions essentially must be possible, because both will have the hydrophobic group and hydrophobic region. What is the reason? The reason is that most of the drugs belonging to organic molecule, hence they must contain at least one hydrophobic group. Therefore, van der Waal interactions, however, a weaker interaction, but are significant. Are you followed? So this is about third type of interaction. A drug may interact to the receptor to form drug receptor complex through a van der Waal attraction or interaction. Now coming to fourth one. Dipolar, fourth interaction, dipolar interaction. A dipolar and as well as dipolar interaction. Now, a drug may bind with the receptor to form a drug receptor complex through sometimes a dipolar interactions. Now, what is dipolar interaction? A interaction between the dipole moment of functional group of a drug molecule with the net dipole moment of functional group of a receptor. A drug and a receptor which consisting of a functional group differently are complementary if has a net dipole moment, that is a net dipole moment for a functional group of receptor, a net dipole moment for functional group of a drug molecule, then These two are interacted. A drug and receptors are interacted through the dipole moment of their complementary functional groups. Example, say this is the drug molecule. Drug molecule, if contain a functional group like this with a net dipole moment. With a net dipole moment. This is the dipole moment of functional group of the drug. Dipole moment. Dipole moment. Now, a net dipole moment of a receptor. Say this is receptor, this is receptor. It has a functional group, dipole moment. Now, both a drug with its functional group has a net dipole moment and the receptor with its functional group has a net dipole moment. These two may be interacted. The dipole moment of a functional group of drug may be interacted with the dipole moment of functional group of the receptor to form drug receptor complex, DR complex. So a drug may be bound with sometimes to the receptor through dipolar interaction, dipolar interactions. Now, the last interaction, fifth one, ion dipolar interaction. Ion dipolar interactions. Ion and dipolar interactions. Now these are the last type of interactions between drug and receptor to bound and to exhibit their action. Now, a interaction between ionic functional group of drug and the dipole moment of the functional group of the receptor, or the dipole moment of the functional group of the receptor and ionic functional group of the drug is called as ion dipolar interactions. Ion dipole moment of the interaction, that means ion may be consisting in the drug molecule or ion may be consisting in the receptor molecule. So the interaction between ion and dipole moment of the functional group of either drug or receptor is called as ion dipolar interactions. Say a drug molecule with a ionic functional group COO minus now may be interacted with say this is receptor with its functional group. Say this functional group has a net dipole. This is dipole moment. If a functional group of a receptor has net dipole moment and if a drug has a ionic functional group, now these two may be interacted. A ionic functional group may interact with the dipole moment of functional group of receptor. This is called as ion dipolar interaction. Ion dipolar interaction. Ion and dipolar interaction. These interactions resulted DR complex. These interactions resulted a drug receptor complex from which only the action will be elicited, or we can observe the biological response or drug action. So this is 5 types of drug receptor interactions are followed. When the drug approached to the receptor or its target to bind, it may be bound through sometimes ionic interactions, sometimes hydrogen bonding interactions, sometimes van der Waal interactions, sometimes dipolar interactions, sometimes to ion dipolar interactions, or in between drug and receptor all the interactions may be possible once. In some cases only 2 or 3 interactions are possible. In some other cases all the interactions may be possible. Are you following? So between the drug and receptor, depending upon the structure of both and depending upon the nature of the both, in some cases a drug bind with its target, that is receptor, through only ionic interaction, or through ionic interaction and hydrogen bonding interaction, or the drug may bind with the receptor through all type of interactions if possible. So depending upon the possibility, the drug may interact with a receptor through among the 5 interactions and bound. Finally it bound to exhibit its action. Is it clear? Now, the extent of drug action depends upon the extent of the interactions present between drug and receptor. That is, the drug action is directly proportional, or the drug action is depending upon the extent of drug receptor interaction or drug target interactions. It is directly proportional to interaction, or between drug and receptor. That is, the amount of drug action depends upon the extent of interactions present between the drug and receptor. It is directly proportional. If the interaction between drug and receptor are more, the extent of drug receptor interaction is more, the action will be more. If the interaction between drug and receptor is less, the drug action will be less. That is, a drug exhibited its maximum response or its maximum action if it bind with the target strongly. A strong binding is possible when there are more number of interactions between the drug and receptor during its binding. Are you following? The response, the extent of biological action or drug action depends upon to what extent it bind with the target or receptor. If the drug bind strongly with receptor, the action is maximum. When it strongly bind, when there are more number of interactions involved between drug and receptor, if drug bound with the receptor through the more number of interaction, it will be strongly bind. Under strong binding, the action will be maximum. So in brief, the action of the drug depends upon the extent of drug binding with the target or receptor. The extent of drug binding depends upon number of interactions involved during the drug binding with the receptor. Is it clear? So with this, the nature of drug receptor topic will be completed. Next topic. Now coming to the next topic, theory of drug receptor interactions. Theory. Now theory of drug receptor interaction. Now there are 4 to 5 theory included in the syllabus to study about the drug action from the drug molecule after binding with its target. The first theory is occupancy theory. The first theory is an occupancy theory that is related to action. Now, occupancy theory between the drug and receptor is designed based on the action of the drug with respect to its quantity. Occupancy theory is depends upon the action of the drug, the extent of action of the drug, depending upon its concentration, drug concentration or quantity of the drug. According to occupancy theory, the action of drug is directly proportional to the number of target sites or the number of receptor sites occupied by the drug molecule at its equilibrium. Are you following? So this theory, occupancy theory, explain the about the extent of drug action. This theory is based on the action of the relationship between the action of the drug with respect to its concentration, that is drug concentration or drug quantity. According to the occupancy theory, the action of the drug is directly proportional to the number of receptor or target sites occupied by the drug at its equilibrium. At the equilibrium, if more number of receptors are occupied by the drug molecule, then action will be more. Are you clear? That is, at the equilibrium, during the formation of drug receptor complex, at equilibrium, if more number of receptors or more number of targets occupied by the drug, then the action will be more. The action is directly proportional to number of receptors occupied by the drug at its equilibrium. Example, say this is the drug molecule interacted with receptor. Drug interacting with D stands for drug, R stands for receptor. Now it's equilibrium. Now forward reaction, drug binding with receptor is called as association, Ka. Association constant to form Dr complex. Dr complex. And backward reaction, dissociation of Dr complex into receptor and drug, that is Kd, where Ka is equal to association constant. Kd is equal to dissociation constant. Dissociation constant, this is in equilibrium. Now action is observed only from drug receptor complex. So the action is elicited from drug receptor complex only. Now the action of the drug, now we have just now studied the action is observed only from Dr complex. Now the action is more if the concentration of Dr complex is more. The drug action is more if the concentration of drug receptor complex is more. When the concentration of drug receptor complex is more, when all the receptors available, if occupied by the drug molecule, its concentration is maximum when all the receptors will be occupied by the drug molecule at its equilibrium. So when the concentration of Dr complex is more, the action is more. Is it clear? So action is directly proportional to concentration of Dr complex, not concentration of drug. So the action is more with our action is directly proportional to the concentration of Dr complex. The concentration of Dr complex is directly proportional to the occupancy of the receptors by the drug molecule. If occupancy is more, occupancy means binding. If occupancy is more to the receptor by the drug, then its concentration is more, then action is more. Is it clear? Say for example, you see now action of the drug on x-axis, action of the drug on x-axis, occupancy on y-axis, occupancy on the y-axis, 0 action, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now occupancy 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Occupancy of receptor. Occupancy of receptor. Now, if more number of receptors are occupied by the drug, you see, say in this case, if 7 receptors are occupied by the drug, if 7 receptors are occupied by the drug, you see, we will get this plot. If 7 receptors are occupied by the drug, or 7 receptors are bound with the drug, the action will be 12. The action will be 12. If only 5 receptors, are bound or occupied by the drug, then the action will be 10. Action will be less. If only 3 receptors are occupied, say the action will be 6. If only 1 receptor is occupied, say if only 2 receptors are occupied, the action will be 0. So what this graph explains us, the action of the drug increases as increasing number of receptors occupied by the drug. So when occupancy of the drug increases, occupancy of the receptor by the drug increases, the action will be increases, because the action depends upon DR complex. When occupancy increases, the concentration of DR complex get also increases. So this is about occupancy theory. Now, second theory. Second theory, that is induced fit theory. Now what we are discussing? We are discussing about the extent of drug action. That is, the extent of drug action will be explained by some theories. Now first theory we studied just now, occupancy theory. How drug action depends upon occupancy. As the number of occupancy increases, the action will be increases due to more formation of DR complex at its equilibrium. So that is one of the theory. The second theory is induced fit theory. Now not always a receptor have a complementary conformational structure with respect to the structure of a drug. Now we are going to explain, or we are going to study how drug action will be depending upon what. The second theory is induced fit theory. According to induced fit theory, the receptor need not be have a complementary conformational structure with respect to the structure of a drug molecule. That means whatever the structure both have, receptor as well as the drug molecule, they need not be have a complementary conformational structure. So in whatever the conformational structure, the drug bind with the receptor. How? Are you following? According to induced fit theory, both drug and receptor need not be have the complementary conformational structures. they may have any conformations, any type of conformational structures, but they may interact and bound to form DR complex. How? According to induced fit theory, when the drug molecule initially the receptor have no complementary conformational structure. According to this theory, when the drug approach to the receptor, the drug will induce to change the conformation of a receptor exactly complementary conformational with respect to drug. Initially, these two may not be have the same complementary conformational structure, but when drug approached slowly to the receptor, the drug will induce to be change the conformation of receptor exactly complementary with respect to drug structure. After that, a drug is able to bind with receptor. This is happen. That is, when drug approached to the receptor, the receptor will be induced. The drug will be induced to the receptor to change its conformation, to change its conformational structure complementary to the drug structure. So, after inducing a drug molecule to change the conformation, the receptor will change its conformation. Thereby, the drug molecule is exactly fit onto the structure of receptor. Is it clear? Say for example, this is the structure of receptor, this is the structure of drug molecule. Initially, they may not be properly bound with each other because the structures are not complementary. Is it clear? Now, you see in the second case, when the drug approached slowly to the receptor, this drug molecule induced to be changed the conformation of a receptor. Thereby, the receptor will change its conformation to in this way. Initially, its conformation is this. When drug induced to change its conformation, the receptor immediately changes its conformation exactly complementary to the drug structure. Then drug will be properly fit into the conformational structure of receptor. Then it will be bound, strongly bound. This is called as induced fit theory. Induced fit theory. Are you following? Under this conformation, a drug is not properly bound with the receptor. When the drug is unable to properly bound with the receptor, its action will be less. Unlike when the drug approaches slowly to the, now why it is unable to properly bound? Because the conformations are not suitable. Conformation of receptor and conformation of the drug is not suitable. However, interacted, but less strongly interacted and less strongly bound, and action will be less. Unlike when the drug approaches to the receptor, if binding interactions are not proper or not suitable, the drug will induce to change the conformation of a receptor, and it changes its conformation to this way. Change of the conformation is exactly complementary with respect to drug conformation. Is it clear? Then the drug is properly interact with or properly fit with a receptor conformational structure and strongly bind. Therefore, maximum response is exhibited. This is called as induced fit theory. For example, diagrammatically it can be explained. For example, say this is the structure of receptor. Say I am writing here R with a functional groups. Now, this is the structure of this is the structure of drug. You see, the receptor conformation is not exactly suitable to bound with the drug. Its conformations are quite opposite. Conformations are not complementary, non-complementary conformations. Is it possible to interact a drug molecule with the receptor? Because these two are not in complementary. Now, when a drug approached to the receptor, it induced. The drug will be inducing the receptor to change its conformation. Yes, it changes its conformation to now you see, this is the receptor where the conformational changes will be induced by the drug. The receptor conformation structure will be changed from this way to this way, which is exactly complementary to the drug structure. Say this is the drug. Say this is the drug. This is the receptor. Now you observe what are the differences between these two. Now initially, these two conformational structures of drug and receptors are not complementary. Therefore, there may not be proper binding interactions took place and action will be less. If interacted, however, but the action will be less. Now, if the drug induced to be change the conformation of receptor, yes, it changes the conformation to this. In what way it changes the conformation? The conformational change always with respect to the drug structure, drug conformation. You see, so the receptor immediately changes its conformation exactly fit with the drug. So this is the drug conformation. Now, these two conformations are called as complementary conformations. Complementary. These two are called as complementary conformations. These two are properly interacted to form now you see, a drug is exactly properly fit in the conformational structure of receptor. When it's a conformation, when the receptor conformation will be induced to be changed with respect complementary with respect to drug, a drug is able to exactly suitably to fit into the conformation of a receptor to form DR complex. This is DR complex. This is DR complex. Is it clear? From it we can observe its action. This is called as induced fit theory. A drug will induce the receptor to change its conformation for proper fit of a drug in the conformational structure of receptor for proper binding interactions or more binding interaction to exhibit maximum response or maximum action, called as induced fit theory. Now coming to here, if the drug is not induced to change the conformation of receptor, you see what happens. A drug interacted with the receptor, now this is the DR complex. You may observe the difference between these two. If inducing is not initiated by the drug, so what happens? If the drug interacted with the receptor through only certain proportion of interactions, so only this part is interacted, this part of the drug structure and this part of the receptor is interacted. The remaining two binding sites, this is one binding site, This is another binding site of receptor. This is one binding group. This is another binding group of a drug molecule. Now the remaining, there are three binding sites. One binding site, two binding site, three binding sites with three functional groups of drug. Only one binding site is consumed or utilized for binding with the drug. The remaining two binding sites are still vacant, remain vacant. Vacant binding site. Vacant binding site. So here, in the first case, where the drug is not properly interacted with the receptor, still there are some binding sites are remain vacant. Therefore, less action is observed. Action will be less. Initially, we studied that the action is directly proportional to the extent of drug interacted or the extent of interactions existed between the drug and receptor. Now here the extent of interactions are less because the vacant binding sites remain. Now where coming to the second DR complex, here all binding sites are occupied by the binding groups of drug molecule. There is no vacant binding sites in the receptor. So the extent of interaction between the drug and receptor is maximum. Therefore, action will be maximum. So this is about induced fit theory. Example, you take a specific example. You take some specific example. For example, say this is the drug molecule. OH group. This is hydrogen. NH2CH3 plus charge. Now this is one of the drug molecule where it consisting of, this part is hydrophobic group. Now the benzene part, this part is hydrophobic in nature, involved in van der Waals interaction. Van der Waals. Involved in van der Waals interaction. Now this is OH group. It involved in hydrogen bonding interaction. Hydrogen bonding. So with OH group, hydrogen bonding interactions are possible. Now this is NH2 plus CH3. This is ionic group involved in ionic interactions. Ionic interactions. So this is one of the drug. There is a possibility to be involved or interact with its receptor through van der Waals interaction, through the hydrogen bonding interaction, through the ionic interactions. Is it clear? Now coming to the receptor structure. Say this is the receptor structure. Say it has a hydrophobic region. This is hydrophobic region. Hydrophobic region. Say this is OH. Possible for hydrogen interaction, hydrogen bonding interaction. Say this is COO minus for ionic interaction. ionic interaction. So this is the structure of, say, a receptor. It has a hydrophobic region, a hydrogen bonding interaction, a hydrogen bonding region, and ionic interactions, a region for ionic interactions. So we have a drug and receptor structure. Let us these two interactions. Suppose if the receptor in the same conformation, just now we written on the board, if the receptor in the same conformation interacted with the drug, let us see what happens. Hmm. No. So this is OH group of the receptor. OH group of the receptor. This is hydrophobic. This is hydrophobic group. Hydrophobic region. Hydrophobic region. This is hydrogen bonding region. This is ionic region. Now this is the initial conformation of receptor. Conformation of receptor. Conformation of receptor. Now coming to the drug. This is the drug structure. OH group for hydrogen bonding, phenyl group for van der Waals interaction, and NH2CH3 plus. So this is the conformation of a drug. This is the original conformation of a receptor. Now during the interaction of drug with receptor, you see these are van der Waals interactions. Van der Waals interaction between hydrophobic group of drug and hydrophobic region of the receptor. This is a hydrogen bonding site involved properly in hydrogen bonding. Now OH group of the drug interacted through its hydrogen with oxygen of a receptor. This is hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding. These interactions are van der Waals interactions. Van der Waals interactions. Is it clear? Now, a drug and the receptor have A complementary groups. A drug has hydrophobic group. A receptor has hydrophobic region. A drug has hydrogen bonding group. Receptor is also having hydrogen bonding site region, and a receptor has ionic group, functional group. Drug is also has ionic functional group. Now, when the drug interacted with the original conformation of a receptor, this is original conformation of a receptor. See what happens. However, there are three type of interactions are possible. One is van der Waal, other one is hydrogen bonding interaction, the other one is ionic interaction. But the receptor conformation is not complementary to the drug. In the same conformation, if it interacted, what happens? Only van der Waal interactions are existed, only hydrogen bonding interactions are possible, but ionic interactions are not possible, because this ion group of the receptor is far away from the ionic group of the drug molecule, where the ionic interactions however possible but not existed, because the COO minus, that is ionic group of receptor, is far away from the ionic functional group of the drug molecule. That is, in the original conformation of the receptor, if drug interacted, only certain proportion, only certain interactions like van der Waal and hydrogen bonding interactions are possible, but the ionic interactions are remain vacant. Ionic region of the receptor is remain vacant. Therefore, less action is exhibited. Action will be less. Less action is exhibited by the drug. This is the drug receptor complex. Is it clear? Now, when there is a vacant functional group or vacant binding region and vacant binding sites, the action of the drug is less, because the ionic interactions are not possible due to its conformation. Is it clear? Now, if the same drug will induce to change the conformation of receptor, see what happens. If induced to change its conformation complementary to the drug's conformation, see what happens. Now, you see, initially this part of the receptor is down, it is below, so the conformation is different. A drug, if induced to change the conformation, so this is up, this part of the receptor get up, it become changed its conformations. This is hydrophobic region, this is OH group of the receptor, this is COO minus of the receptor. Now you see, initially when this part of the receptor is below, down, this group COO minus group is away from the ionic functional group of the drug. When the drug will induce to be changed the conformation of the receptor, see what happens. When this part of the receptor moves up, the COO minus, the ionic group is become very close to the ionic group of the drug. Say this is the drug. Say this is the drug. This is OH group of the drug, and this is NH2CH3 ionic group of the drug. You observe what is the difference. When this part moved from down to the up, the COOH group come close to the ionic group of the drug. Then these are van der Waals interactions. This is a hydrogen bonding interactions as well as the ionic interactions. Earlier we studied that ionic interactions are very stronger than all other interactions. Now you see what happens. If conformation is induced to be changed by the drug, if changes the receptor, it's a conformation, what happens? All the binding sites of the receptor will be satisfied. Van der Waals interactions and hydrogen bonding interactions as well as the ionic interactions are become possible. So all type of possible interactions are possible if the conformation is induced to be changed. So this conformation of the receptor is complementary to this drug conformation. Therefore all interactions are existed between the drug and receptor, that is drug interacted with the receptor through more number of interactions. Initially, if conformation of the receptor is not changed, we observed only two interactions, van der Waals interaction, hydrogen bonding interaction. If the conformation is changed, the receptor conformation is changed to complementary to the conformation of drug, three interactions are existed: van der Waals interaction, hydrogen bonding interaction and ionic interactions. This is ionic. So what is indicated? This diagram indicated the drug is strongly interacted, strongly bind with the receptor to form, this is DR complex. DR complex, more activity or maximum activity will be observed. The action of the drug is maximum. Is it clear? So we already studied that the action is directly proportional to the extent of drug binding. The extent of drug binding depends upon the extent of interactions involved. If more number of interactions are involved, then drug bind strongly with the receptor. When drug bind strongly with the receptor, it forms a DR complex, concentration is more and activity is more. So this is called as induced fit theory. Is it clear? Now, not always only the receptor will change its conformation. Sometimes the drug may also change its conformation. Are you following? Till the completion of induced fit theory, we discussed about only change in the conformation of receptor. This is not true always. Sometimes when the drug approach to the receptor, if not possible to change the conformation of receptor, drug itself change its conformation complementary with respect to the conformation of receptor. Is it clear? This is called as induced fit theory. So sometimes if possible, when these two are close, when these two are approached, drug and receptor are approached, if possible, the only receptor will change the conformation complementary to the conformation of drug. If not, then the drug may change its conformation complementary to the conformation of receptor. So whatever it may be, the conformational change either in receptor or either in drug will lead to proper fit, proper binding interaction between drug and receptor to form a strong DR complex, strongly bound DR complex, from which a maximum response, maximum action will be elicited or maximum action will be observed. So with this I conclude my lecture. So you have to study 2-3 more theory of drug receptor interaction. We will discuss in the next class. Thank you.